Evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? This story I'm going to cover today is actually quite an old one. I shared it on my Twitter because, well, it was so ludicrous and absurd. It was laugh out loud funny. The things that our government now does as policy are side-splitting hilarity. They're the type of things you'd see on some satirically genius comedy show like Yes Minister or something from the 80s. But because that was the 80s and the world was still sane, it was comedy and everybody knew it was comedy. Now, the policies that the government actually enact are indistinguishable from cutting satire. That is how thick the people that run the United Kingdom are. I believe this incident occurred under Dominic Raab C. Nesbitt, and I'd rather have Raab C. Nesbitt running the country because at least a pisshead might, drop the duty on a pint of bitter or something, give you some sucker to be drunk while the world falls apart around you. Because the people that run the nation are treacherous, traitorous dogs who appear to be full-on misanthropes at this point. Like, everything they do makes things worse every day. And this is just a classic example of it. So look at this clip here. This is the UK hiring prisoners as lorry drivers to help with the shortage of HGV truckers. So here was their ingenious policy idea from 2021. And you really couldn't make this up.
Now, prisoners could be part of the solution to the recent lorry driver shortage, according to the Justice Secretary. A radical plan was unveiled today where serving inmates will be recruited to drive trucks. It's seen as offering offenders a second chance, but there are doubts over just how much it'll actually help. Here's our consumer editor, Chris Choi.
Government Justice Secretary, driven by a prisoner. Dominic Raab today highlighting a scheme where convicts are helping with the HGV crisis. Behind the wheel was Dean. He's on day release from jail working in haulage. His offence was importing drugs involving a lorry.
I need to be able to get...
Do you get that? His offence was importing drugs using a lorry. Well, at least he's got experience. Yeah, we need experienced drivers. Just not ones that aren't working on the right side of the law. So, I mean, he's probably not going to have a crash. I'm sure he's a very careful driver because when you've got £2 million worth of cocaine and smack in the back of your van, you don't want to drive it off a bridge or anything, do you? Or have an accident again with the taxi driver and then 60 people get out the back and pinch it all. So brilliant that at least we've found some grizzled veterans to drive them trucks. I wonder what chaos ensued as a result of that action. Professional drug smugglers being hired by the government to drive the trucks. And what checks and balances will they have put in place to make sure the trucks haven't got a few bags of crack stashed in the spare wheel? You tell me. Well, we both know what the answer is. They'll have been non-existent. But I mean, not all criminal truck drivers are drug dealers, right? Not all of them. I wouldn't be that harsh. Some of them do other things. Essex lorry deaths. Men jailed for killing 39 migrants in a trailer. You want a job, lads? Yeah, you'll do for us. Yozza Hughes, gives a job. You can drive a truck, mate. Have you ever stuffed an illegal immigrant in the back of a truck? Jammed them in alongside a few crates of crudely cut heroin? Yeah, you've done that. You're hired, son. This is official government policy. It's actually unreal. Well, not unreal, is it? It's 2024. Nothing's unreal now. If you told me that the government was starting a programme to import Ebola victims from Nigeria, shackle them to the walls in all of the subway stations in London, and then have them cough aggressively 12 hours a day as like a full-time paid position, I would actually believe you. We've got the type of government now as such a misanthropic, hateful third column working for the nation that if they paid 1 million AIDS victims to come over and go bareback in the gay discos of the United Kingdom, paid by the taxpayers, I'd believe it. I'd believe it. The demons of hell couldn't come up with more perverse ideas for wrecking the nation on purpose than our leaders currently do. Biden purposely collapsed the border on purpose, a functioning border, and told hundreds of millions of foreigners to make their way there. on purpose, a willful act of naked self-harm, and people still think that our leaders have got our best interests at heart. There is a cabal running the Western world, ladies and gentlemen, and you aren't in it. It's like they sit around a big table brainstorming terrible ideas, and when they come up with a real doozy, they implement it. Think of this. During the lockdown, when they were talking about health, they locked all the gyms and chained the doors shut, but offered you coupons so you could go to Burger King and get a discount. Think of that. If you don't think they're out to kill you, think of that one. You know what's good for you? Exercise. Lock the gyms. You know what's bad for you? Cholesterol. Free Mackie D's. I mean, that sums it up. This story sums it up. That story sums it up. It all sums it up. And you don't have to be Albert Einstein to do the maths. Globalist psychopaths rule the world and they want you dead and buried. I believe the facts speak for themselves. But maybe I'm just a miserable twat. I hope you enjoyed that short video. I will see you all very soon. As usual, let me know what you think in the comments. If you think that I'm just a weirdo and the government's always got our best interests at heart, please tell me that in the comments. And I will send the orderlies around with the tranquilizer guns and the straitjackets so they can take you to a facility, a secure institution for your own safety. All right, thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.